we talk about enhancing employee experience and retention. So, both of you have highlighted AI's potential to enhance employee engagement. Could you share some specific ways AI tools can personalize the employee journey and address retention challenges?
Yeah.
Sure, Sandeep, you want to go ahead?
So, yeah, I'll go ahead. If you actually think about employee experience, right? Currently, it's a pretty broken field. Because, and it's not to blame anyone, but I think most of HR's job is so caught up in day-to-day work that practically sending a survey and getting responses in a graphical format is the way to actually measure the what is the feedback in the company. So I think that is something which is going to change big time. So I foresee a lot of chats that are far more nuanced. For example, if someone is giving 555 on a particular parameter, what is something which he or she is liking, versus someone who is giving low score, what has happened with that person? It see, every feedback is coming from a context, whether it is work related, the reporting manager related, sometimes environment related, money related, all of it. That is where it comes in, rather than just giving 5 bullet points. So I think surveys will become far more intelligent, and that is where I think AI currently can also play a major role, because it generates automatically. It can understand your response and frame the next question, albeit doing it in a certain time period. So that is where I feel. Plus, it can also correlate with, what is the attrition that is happening in the company currently. It can check the Glassdoor scores also, and then, create a more coherent understanding of what are people actually saying, what do they actually feel, what is showing in data, match it with the attrition numbers, and then present it. What is the sentiment in my company? So that is one. Second, I think you talked about how do you address retention. I think retention, while it's a big topic, one place which I see again very static in nature is your career growth path, right? Most companies in their HRMS, they have either a vertical career growth path or a horizontal that you can jump. And it is, again, vertical is fairly fixed. Okay, sometimes it is time related, sometimes it is rating related, etc. While horizontal is something which most people now want to try out different areas which they wanted to do. Uh, Most companies will say, okay, I will create it for you. I think that is where understanding, okay, what is the skill that this person currently has? What are the gaps? What is the alignment? What are the behavioral aspects that this person has to build? And then suggesting learning recommendations, and then keeping a tab whether that person has actually achieved it. I think so. Those dynamic career growth plans is something which HRMS tools will have to create. I think the entire HRMS, by the way, will change significantly. It's a pretty static tool, primarily used for filling attendance or, applying your chutti or downloading your salary slip or, few more works. I think it has to become far more nuanced, and it has to help HR in all these tasks. And I think that is where I feel a lot of new areas are going to get opened up. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think these are some, on-ground facts that you have touched upon. Dakshti, please add your inputs here.
I think Sandeep covered it pretty well. Nothing much left out, but I think key
Yeah.
couple of key areas for sure. Prediction of people who are exiting, or perhaps retention. You can have data points which are understanding the trends of people's leaves behavior, or perhaps the leave behavior that follows up just after your performance cycles, checking out how the performance from a continuous basis is moving for an employee. Uh, the system can also understand in terms of the communication pattern that the employees are doing, right? That's how I think retention is one big area that almost a lot of organizations face, and nobody wants to lose on to their top talent. Second, for sure, because the
True.
world, the way, and I think as a part of the first question, the idea was that the world is moving towards a skill economy, right? We were, um, I think, the where we started out were typically jobs. It moved on to roles. There is still a mix and match that's happening between roles and skills. Something in the future that is foreseeable is mapping to skills rather than still going on to the role side of it. And I think um, that's where those specific recommendation in terms of your career paths or in terms of your career development for an employees. That's something that's something where AI will create a strong impact. So, for example, um, say take an example of somebody who's doing a customer support kind of a role, and if the person has good, say, analytical skills or let's say communication skills, just think about a system which comes and tells them that that's your predictive role or that's your growth path that I foresee for you within the organization, even if you want to do a vertical movement or if you want to do a lateral movement. And then the employee can ideally pick up those respective areas of improvement or learning and can choose those career paths. So I think that's clearly something which AI gets on board, which is personalization to that specific individual.